Hey everybody, welcome back to The Tipsy Ghost. We're your tipsy hosts, Sarah, and Lindsey.
Hello. Hey guys. Whoa, okay.
We have kind of a long episode tonight, so we are just going to do something that we don't normally do and just jump right into our story.
Trust that we will still go on tangents though.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure. That's our specialty.
It is.
So this is a one of our group projects. We decided to do a cult.
We did.
A pretty recent cult.
Yes.
And this was your idea.
It was.
I've never heard of this cult, even though it's recent.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Had you?
Yes.
Okay, maybe it's me. I'm sorry.
Did you hear about it because it was in the news recently? Because that's how I heard about it. I didn't know about it before.
I think I had heard a podcast on it.
Maybe.
And then also in the news, once we get to it, that's a pretty memorable news story.
That's how I heard. Yes,
All
so
right.
we're going to be talking about the Love Has Won cult. Well, I'm going to start us off, and I'm going to give you some history about Amy Carlson, and we'll learn more about her later. But so Amy was the leader of this cult that we'll learn about as we go. She was born in 1975 in a small town outside of Wichita, Kansas.
Wichita.
Guys, I did not realize that she was that close.
She did not grow up there. I heard she grew up in Dallas.
Oh, okay. Well, again, close to me. Oh my gosh.
Yes. She was the oldest of 3 girls in the family. And according to her family, she was known as a straight-A student. She was popular, charming, and someone to look up to.
Foreshadowing.
I saw one of her high school photos and she looks like just a normal, cute, fun girl.
Completely different from like the pictures I saw of her. Yeah.
For sure.
Exactly. She began talking about conspiracy theories and outlandish concepts pretty early on in her life. And then there was a story going around about her, too, that by about the age of 4 or 5, she was talking to angels and that her parents had to take her to multiple different churches seeking insight and advice from pastors. She herself told this story about how one time during a sermon, she screamed, "You're lying!" because she knew that what the pastor was saying was a lie and that she had to be physically removed from church. But just FYI, her family denies that these things actually happened.
Okay. I think they would have better memory than a 4 or 5-year-old.
Just saying. By her early 20s, she had 3 children and had been married and divorced once. Her family stated that she wasn't very maternal and she just didn't have the warmth. She had no problem leaving her children with other people. She developed an interest in something called New Age philosophy. And I had to look it up because I did not know much about it.
Well, it's newer than the old age philosophy, for starters.
That sounds correct.
It sounds like ideas that are kind of new
To the age.
This age.
Yeah.
to us aged people.
I don't even need to tell anything anymore. You guys did it.
And that is New Age
That is
philosophy.
exactly what I wrote.
Was it really? I was like, wow, you're so smart.
Onesie. We really hit the nail on the head.
Listen, the wine makes me gullible.
You think I would write
No.
Things that are new.
think that?
She did.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, back to New Age. It's a religious type of practice that began in the 1970s. Those that were involved typically prefer the designation of spiritual or mind, body, spirit, and don't actually call themselves New Age. They don't want to be labeled. Okay.
Yes.
So
Okay, boomer.
you can see here, it's a difficult thing to define. It is hard to explain what it is.
I mean, I feel like me and Boydston just did a great job explaining exactly what it
We
was.
did. They should have called us.
I will submit your definition to Webster. People involved with the group also view it as a revolutionary period of history dictated by the stars, and others view them as a cult.
Okay.
Weird. New Age was heavily influenced by well-known occultists from the 18th and 19th centuries, as well as some 20th century influences, including the UFO religions, which didn't know that existed.
Sorry.
That's our next story.
How How? Why? So many questions. Okay.
I could have spent hours going into all the different tangents that just New Age was teaching me about. It was a lot. So yeah, they had the UFO religions and also the human potential movement. Can you guess what that is about?
Humans have potential.
That's it.
I am so good at movements.
In case you're not familiar.
Your calling.
It is the belief that there is untapped potential in all people.
Fascinating. You know what? That's true, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know this is a story about a cult, but there's some truth to that.
Don't get swept up in the cult, Boydston. Stop.
And that's the gateway drug.
I do have untapped potential.
Well, thank you. I do, don't I?
What else do you want to tell me?
I know. Well, this story, you started out by saying that she was really into conspiracies, and I was like, oh, well, me in 20 years, normal. I'm going to lead my own cult.
And we will be your followers.
I would follow you.
I will follow you.
Follow you.
Oh my gosh. You too.
It's from the Sister Act.
It is. I love that one.
Was thinking of a different song. I'm not on your wavelength tonight.
Oh my god, that is... Have you seen the Sister Act?
I have not.
Please
so
watch
good.
It doesn't have aliens. It doesn't have
ghosts.
I
know what it's about.
You would love it.
It's
doesn't have aliens. I am familiar with what the Sister Act is.
That I suggest you're like, she's weird.
No,
I don't know.
I said it too. I love Sister Act 1 and 2.
Such a good movie.
Mm-hmm. Whoopee.
Yeah, it's got the whoops in it.
Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop.
I'm sure she's never heard that.
We said we would have tangents, and here we are.
Okay, yeah, back to the UFO population and human potential movement.
Human potentials, that's where we are. Okay.
So this was very popular during the 60s, and they related it a lot to psychedelic culture, hippies. And the summer of love.
We've got real potential, man.
Got some untapped potential. You do too.
You can really unlock that potential with some shrooms.
I feel like how it went. If we would just all sit here and close our eyes,
we will tap
we
into
can see it. I see your soul, man.
We were born in the wrong generation.
I was also apparently born the wrong gender.
Boydston's untapped potential.
As a man from the 60s.
We know you're your next Halloween outfit.
Who has not showered in days, has the long beard.
Working on it.
I shaved mine today.
I've got PCOS, thank you. You're so rude. You mentioned
my
beard.
I'm laughing too hard again and I'm sweating. Thank you, hormones. Damn it. Okay. I'm still a New Age. I haven't even gotten very far. Some of the beliefs included within the New Age include a belief in holistic form of divinity.
Okay.
I know that's not very shocking based on the stuff I just told you, but there's also a common belief that there's a strong connection between humans and non-human entities such as angels and masters. And the humans can communicate to the masters through channeling. There's a strong focus on healing through the use of alternative medicine. Back to Amy. She began posting pretty regularly on a forum about New Age philosophy, which is where she met a man named Amerith White Eagle. Amerith, I think I said that right. He convinced Amy that she was divine.
Mrs. White Eagle.
Not like, girl, you divine.
No.
We're like, girl, you divine.
You are the divine one, I think is how he said it. Probably.
He was not hitting on her. He was...
Probably both.
Probably both.
Yeah.
Okay.
He became the first father god, and she became mother god.
Nailed it.
Amy suddenly began to experience paranormal phenomena, including hearing voices that said she would one day become the president of the United States. In 2007, Amy left her husband and her 3 children and her job as a McDonald's manager and totally cut off contact with the rest of her family. She moved out to Colorado and met up with Sir White Eagle. They began making YouTube videos, and their first one was posted in 2009. This group with Mother and Father God, they continued to grow, mostly through internet, as things do. Mm-hmm. And their videos that were posted on YouTube, They ended up making over 2,700 videos.
Did you watch every single one?
I did. In preparation.
Seriously, I'm going to be disappointed if you guys did not.
I can quote them all.
I was going to watch a couple and I saw something that said there's 2,700 and I was like, no, hard pass.
I did watch a few of them and they're weird.
Yeah.
Yes. Members, you can see the members delivering their message by being openly brash, energetic, and oftentimes using foul language.
Duck.
Yes.
Did you get it?
I did. Thank you.
It's duck, but also sounds like fuck.
Oh. I was thinking like
language.
A bird. Okay.
Foul. Like bird. I just got that.
That's what I mean.
Oh. Wait, I thought you were just trying to say something that sounded like...
No, like duck is a foul, but it also sounds like fuck. So
I just got the reference to the F word.
It's not as funny when I have to explain it.
No, it's very funny now, and I look like an idiot, so thank you. It's even funnier.
It was very clever.
Listen, I told you that the caffeine has to reach my brain. It has not reached my brain.
That was a hard one. That was a little bit more difficult to get.
One. Don't patronize me.
I'm not. Well, the members, they can be heard calling non-believers whores, among other harsh words. Members of the Love Has Won cult can be heard on the video saying racist, homophobic, and anti-Semitic views.
They're not very lovey.
They are not very lovey.
No.
I know.
Love is not winning. There.
That was great.
Thank you.
I see what you did.
I had to think about it.
Love has lost.
They lost.
The love has been lost. Sir White Eagle, or Father God.
Did you just call him Sir?
Yes.
Mr. Eagle.
White Eagle is one word.
Mr. White Eagle.
Yes. He left Amy around 2014.
Okay.
And later that same year, she gained her first follower on her own, who would also serve as the manager of the group. Later on in 2019, a new Father God was named, and that was Jason Castillo.
Derulo.
Jason Derulo.
Jason Castillo.
Where was the way that we are?
This is why we're friends. I didn't even think of that until you said it.
You hear him on YouTube. It is me, Amy, Mother God, and Jason Castillo. Okay, the group traveled to many different places, including Colorado, Oregon, California, and Florida. They also moved to Hawaii in 2020, but they really made the locals mad there after Amy declared that she was the Hawaiian goddess Pele.
Uh-oh.
Would join a cult who went to Hawaii. Just saying.
Would you?
Cult, that sounds a little crazy. You're going to Hawaii? Okay, I'm in.
Sure, and then suddenly you drop out when you get there?
Yes.
That's what I do. Well, the mayor of Kauai, I said that weird, had to intervene and convince the group that they should probably go ahead and leave.
Yes.
So they flew back to Colorado in 2020. In September of 2020, Amy began saying she was in poor health and that she was paralyzed from the waist down. Amy said that she had stage 5 cancer, which I don't know how she was diagnosing herself because she never went to a doctor. But Amy was last seen alive by someone outside of the group on April 10th, 2021.
So before we dive into what actually happened to Amy,
yes,
let's go over the cult and their beliefs and their goals.
I cannot wait.
It is very bizarre. Let's hear it.
Bizarre is a really good way to explain it.
Thank you.
So the beliefs. The group blended, like you said, New Age mysticism with the beliefs about galactic beings and planetary ascension with conspiracy theories. Amy is God, reincarnate.
Yes, Mother God.
She is divine and she birthed all of creation. She's over...
Sounds painful.
19...
I just got a visual. I don't...
I thought of a volcano.
The world coming out of...
Vagine. Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
She is over 19 billion years old.
Oh my.
She has lived over 500 past lives.
Hold, isn't the world only like 4.6 billion years old?
She's older. Okay.
She birthed creation.
So she waited a few billion years to do it.
Yeah, you have to be a mature adult in order to birth creation.
Matured by 15 billion years.
Okay.
She's lived over 500 past lives.
Wow.
Some of these include Jesus Christ himself,
Uh-huh.
Cleopatra, Marilyn Monroe,
Of course.
Joan of Arc,
Uh-huh.
I can see it.
the queen of a mythical ancient city of Lemuria,
Oh, I was thinking Atlantis.
during which Donald Trump was her father.
What? What?
She claimed that a special obscure technology was stolen, causing an explosion that sunk Atlantis.
Atlantis wasn't there.
You knew it.
Knew it.
Good news, she was able to save the technology, but wasn't able to fully ascend to the fifth dimension, which is a peaceful heavenly place, apparently,
Okay.
because humanity wasn't ready, so she continues to return to Earth in human form.
I am astounded that people believe this.
She is in constant conflict with the Cabal, which is a shadowy global organization determined to keep humanity in a, quote, low vibrational state. They are a group of minions of reptilians and the Anunnaki, an ancient extraterrestrial and or Sumerian deity. They are the global elite, tied to the Illuminati,
Oh, Illuminati, there it is.
This is sounding a lot like Illuminati.
and they pull the world's strings, orchestrating everything from war to mass shootings to pandemics, all to keep humanity in a state of fear.
They sound like real dicks.
It sounds like she is literally pulling from every conspiracy theory there is.
The Cabal tried to assassinate her 600 times in her most recent life.
Wow.
She is a trooper.
Yeah, luckily she was able to not make that happen. When she gets to the point where she's going to ascend and the world is about to learn the truth, the Cabal always murders her or tricks humanity from learning the truth. Another belief, all of the world's suffering had to be played out physically upon Amy's body.
That sounds like Jesus.
Her body acted as a filtration. Was Jesus a filter?
Not a filter, no, but...
Amy's body acted as a filtration system, cleansing the world of negative energies and low vibrations, causing her physical suffering. Her followers were meant to shield her from damage through their faith.
So, I mean, if you look at Christianity, Jesus was all of sin was poured out on him, and he felt all of the world's sin and died for that. So I see how she's borrowing that from Christianity.
Well, she was Jesus Christ, remember?
At once.
Yeah. Ordinary people were in a state of 3D consciousness, while members of the group had transcended to a higher level of 5D consciousness.
Oh my
What's
gosh.
4D?
Purgatory.
That's between.
Oh, okay.
It's between 3 and 5.
Okay.
It's purgatory.
They believe ascension would finally happen and starships would come
Oh my gosh. Wow.
and help the followers reach a higher level of consciousness without pain. Non-believers would be sent to live on the central galactic sun or be turned into rocks.
What?
I'm going to go with rock.
I don't want to be a rock.
I'd rather be a rock than on the sun.
I'd like to be the rock.
Maybe that's what they meant. They're just a world full of Dwayne The Rock Johnsons.
Yes. Listen, they went to Hawaii. Maybe they really loved his Maui character.
Okay. I can get down.
They claim they are not a cult, but that it is humanity that's the cult.
Yes. Okay. Stick it to the man. Got it.
They mistrust doctors and mainstream medicine, as they put it, believing that all illnesses are caused by energy imbalances, and Western medicine is designed to keep us sick. They taught the healing benefits of colloidal silver and gold, even selling them via their natural products business. Colloidal silver, just as a by the way, is a substance made by suspending silver particles in a liquid, often marketed as a cure-all dietary supplement. Just as a side note, frequent use can cause argyria, which turns the skin blue.
Like a Smurf.
Like a Smurf.
Don't drink or eat silver. This is our warning. Do not do this.
Yes. They also sold etheric surgery, which is a form of remote energy healing said to cure all diseases.
For the low cost of $88 a session.
Yes. They claimed lemon and baking soda could cure cancer. Turmeric could cure diabetes. And frankincense relieve depression.
Doesn't turmeric have some healing qualities, though? Like for inflammation?
Anti-inflammatory, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know about healing diabetes.
They're taking very holistic to the extreme.
I don't know about replacing entire pancreas in a patient.
No. And frankincense, I have not heard of that curing depression.
I wonder what myrrh heals.
Myrrh is left out.
Myrrh.
They claimed it was a myth that staring at the sun could cause blindness, claiming that as the sun enters your eyes, it burns away all of the darkness within you. They claimed a heart attack might really be the heart just expanding. But here's the quote.
Like the Grinch.
Yes.
It grew so large.
The quote is, "The dark side fooled all of humanity into thinking you're having a heart attack. But when your heart is expanding, you get pain in your chest sometimes down your arms. Just breathe. You're growing in love.
God.
So don't run for the doctors. They're not going to help you. Love is helping you."
We need to put up a PSA. Do not take any of this as medical advice.
Oh, my word.
If you were having chest pain with numbness or tingling going down your arm, you should go to the ER.
Yes. Or call 911.
Call 911.
They sold an Ascension Guide retailing for $22.22, which prescribes grounding tools like sun gazing, or literally gazing into the sun, smoking cigarettes, but only organic hand-rolled tobacco, eating red meat at least twice a week, which has been, as a side note, said to cause carcinogens and increase your cancer risk, and also taking long, cold showers.
Why the cold showers?
I have heard about health benefits from cold showers, but not about healing and curing
I have not
illnesses.
heard that.
Not a clue.
Okay.
Members were only allowed to sleep when Amy, or Mother God, did, and they were scolded, sometimes punished even, for napping. They could only eat donated food that members received from food banks, and not too much of it. The philosophy is that overeating is ego, which stands for edging God out.
Fat people can't love Jesus, apparently.
Well, members were encouraged to cut ties with friends and family, and they were very big into conspiracies. Like all conspiracies, hosts of their live streams would routinely speculate that the COVID pandemic was planned, and that Sandy Hook, 9/11, and the Holocaust were all hoaxes.
I can't with those people.
Here's where it gets kind of tough. So one member said that society has been taught about the Holocaust and the Nazis. What they have been taught is suspicious, and that Hitler's intention was to serve the light. And here we go. They went so far as to say that, quote, I'm going to make it really known that this is a quote here. Jews wanted everyone else to do the work, and they would take the money. The idea behind the concentration camp was to teach them to work. End quote.
Nope.
Ew.
This cult is the worst.
The group claimed that their mission was to spread love and build a community. Amy wanted to lead 144,000 believers into the awakened 5D plane of existence to leave behind the shackles of the broken 3D world. Those left behind would be destroyed and their energies would be recycled back into the sun. So recycling's good.
Okay.
Of note, ascending to the 5D world involves taking their physical bodies, not dying. And Amy was expected to ascend in a starship or through a portal in the ocean.
This does sound like that other cult I did.
Finally, Amy spoke about the need to tune into higher vibrational frequencies and said she was placed on Earth to guide humanity to a higher state of being. And those are the revised version of their beliefs and goals.
Do you think they have all of those written down somewhere? Like,
They've probably got a Bible of some sort.
a Bible?
I just did it for them.
There you go.
I should email this list.
Or are there YouTube videos, their Bible?
Probably. I should have started there.
There are a lot of them.
No, I wasn't going to watch all of them. So, really, this cult is kind of small as far as cults go. There was only about 12 to 20 members who lived with her. So before they went to Hawaii, they were in Creston, Colorado. There was a lot of complaints about physical abuse and sleep deprivation. Boydston kind of touched on it, that they could only sleep when Amy was sleeping, which was about 4 to 5 hours a night. So they had to stay up until at least midnight, and then they were up at 5 a.m. no matter what. Ex-members talked about they would be berated if they tried to go to sleep or if they tried to nap or anything like that. So they were just exhausted, and they had to do hard physical labor all day. So the sheriff's office in this county, they received many complaints from families about brainwashing and fraud. But, I think the more we talk about cults, like, police really can't do a lot because it's not like these people are being held against their will. May 2020. So a member of the group was found wandering the wilderness, and he was disoriented, he was naked, and dehydrated. So his family was the one who kind of sent out a search party for him. He went to join the cult, and he was only there for really a couple of weeks. He wasn't there very long. And he found the group online because he was a conspiracy theorist and thought that this was going to be like a spiritual awakening. And then when he wasn't answering his calls from his family or from his children, that's when they sent out a search party and found him. And Amy and the group said that he was lacking the right energy and that his energy was incompatible with them, and he was on the wrong side of the mountain.
His vibrations were too low.
And I think that is a great insult. You're on the wrong side of the mountain.
Yeah, well, I think he literally was.
He literally was. So they essentially left him to die. And they said it was an entire day of a rescue mission. His family thinks he was drugged with the hallucinogens because he was just very out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, more so than being dehydrated or malnourished would be. So that happened in May 2020.
Didn't he show up? Sorry to interrupt. Didn't he show up on somebody's land and they...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He was on someone's private property.
Yeah.
And that's how they found him.
Right.
So the cult banned alcohol and drugs for all members, but Carlson or Amy was accused of drinking very excessively and abusing her members when she was drunk. And there's so many videos out there, like on YouTube and stuff. You kind of touched on she's using profanity and just all these slurs and derogatory names. She's like super drunk in all of them.
Yep.
Slurring her words, talking about go get me a shot of tequila and all this stuff.
Right.
So,
because she said it's too much pain for her to take on everything from the world. She's got to numb the pain with organic alcohol.
Yes.
Organic.
Tequila's organic. I just remember tequila because that was in one video I watched where she's like, give me tequila.
Yep.
The group was on Dr. Phil in September of 2020. And I watched this, and it was fascinating.
Yes, it was.
And I do not like Dr. Phil, but I enjoyed watching the show. So Amy's sisters and mother, they were on the show with Amy. Amy was doing it remotely because she was paralyzed during this time, so she couldn't get out of bed.
Right.
Her sister, her family, they all said the same thing, that this is a cult. They had concerns that Amy is mentally ill. They talked about the background of the cult. They said, she does these surgeries with her hands, the spiritual surgeries.
Right.
She does them with her hands.
Yeah. Me too.
Surgeries are always done with the hands.
Most surgeons use their hands.
So when she talked about leaving her children, she said that she begged the angels not to make her leave, but they told her that she had to go on a mission. And if she didn't go, nobody else would. So, and she kept saying, I didn't leave my children. I left on mission.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Her kids don't have any contact really with her. They think she's crazy. So she said that she has done over 100,000 surgeries.
She is extremely busy.
Yes.
With her hands.
And Dr. Phil did the math on that.
Yes, he did.
I love it. So at that time, she had been Mother God for 12 years. So he said that would be 6,667 surgeries a year, which is 555 surgeries a month, which means you'd have to do 18 surgeries a day every single day.
And she's like, yeah.
She's like, some days I do 30. I was like,
God.
What?
She never takes a day off.
She doesn't. So she denied them being a cult, and she said, what is a cult? They are not transparent, and I am transparent.
Mm-hmm.
The producers asked her about the sleep deprivation and the abuse charges, and she literally laughed hysterically.
That was a creepy laugh, too.
It was
like a cackle.
Creepy cackle, and then she goes, they're just jealous. Like, jealous of what?
Sleeping.
I love sleeping. I'm not jealous of your lack of sleep. Probably the most disturbing thing that Dr. Phil showed on this was that there is a video of a child who, he looks like 2 or 3, and she locks him in the closet twice, in a dark closet, because he's throwing a tantrum, as a 2 or 3-year-old does. Mm-hmm. And they kept bringing the child back to Amy and putting him in Amy's lap, and he would start screaming, and she would put him back in the closet and tell him to surrender now, repeatedly. And so she was questioned pretty heavily on this, and she said that humanity has not been disciplined enough, and this child has not been disciplined properly. And she said that they were put in the dark to center themselves. And denied it being abuse.
Yeah.
Despite what
it was a very concerning clip. It happened several times.
It happened several times, and there's like 5 adults in the shot. And
Just letting it happen.
Yes.
Including the parents of the child.
One of them was just carrying the baby back into the closet, back and forth.
And he's little. Mm-hmm. And he was screaming and crying when they would take him out of the dark closet. She's like, well, there was an adult in the dark closet with them.
Well, that's concerning.
Yeah, that does not make me feel better.
Right.
So they had 2 of her followers on the show, too. And they said that, Amy, Mother God, was everything to them. And they fully believe that she is God. They asked why Amy's paralyzed. And she said that all of those surgeries wear her out. And she says she has the documentation of her life as Jesus and talked about how she remembered dying on the cross. And she remembered all of this.
Which, didn't you think it was creepy? They just kept calling her Mom.
Yes. And they all call her Mom.
Well, Mom.
They're like, well, Mom is great. And I'm like,
ugh.
So a former member was on the show as well who left the cult. So she also learned of them through Facebook and visited the ranch in Colorado. And she was in it for about 2 months. And she, verified everything, that you had to stay up until at least midnight and you had to wake up at 5. And she said that they were told that they weren't using their energies properly and had to be helped and had to constantly stay in motion. Otherwise, you were taking energy from Mother God herself. So like nonstop physical labor. They were told that they had to reach a higher vibration of energy before even being allowed to see Mother God. So she didn't see Mother God for a few days when she got there. She said when she did see her, she was paralyzed already at that point, and paralyzed in quotation marks here. And she never left her room or her bed. People would have to help her go to the bathroom and shower. She would drink all day. And basically her funding source was through doing these surgeries, and she could get as much as $400,000 from doing these surgeries.
I want to know who's paying for this and what you actually receive.
Right. And the fact that she said she's done 100,000, like, obviously she hasn't done 100,000, but she's done enough that
she's done enough to get money
to get $400,000.
Yeah.
And they're $88 a session.
Jeez.
Think of how much. Exactly. So 2 months in, Ashley ended up leaving the group because she realized that things were not great. At this point, Amy says that she has stage 5 cancer. And when Dr. Phil asks her, stage 5, what's that? She said, the kind that goes to your bones.
Right. It was self-diagnosed.
And that she's attempting to heal herself.
Yeah. Now, I will say, she did look very unwell.
She looked emaciated.
Yes.
Like skin and bones.
Yeah.
Amy said on the show that she believes that people who do not believe in her are killing her slowly. And then she says, in truth, we are all God.
What does that even mean?
We're all God's people.
Gosh.
So we're going to fast forward. So on April 28th, 2021, Miguel Lamboy, he walked into the Salida Police Department and told authorities that they would find Amy Carlson at his house dead. So apparently he was not part of the group, but he let them live in his house off and on for years because they said they needed a place to stay. And
is this Miguel?
This is Miguel.
Yeah, he was the first member of the group what I was talking about, and he was the manager.
The manager.
For a long time. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he had left his home for a while, was like in Denver, and then he came back to his home and found Amy deceased. So police go out there, and they find her body in a sleeping bag, wrapped in Christmas lights, with the face covered in glitter, and the eyes are missing.
Not the eyes.
I hate that. I hate it so much. So police reports said that they could see the twinkling, multicolored shrine from down the hallway. Like, it looked like a shrine. And they could smell sage in the air. And they said the room that she was in was decorated like a kid's bedroom. And there was, like, stuffed animals, and it looked like a vigil. And she was on top of a bed, wrapped in the sleeping bag with lights.
And a glitter face.
Her body was very much decomposed at that point. And they said they couldn't tell if her eyes had, like, just deteriorated to the point that they were gone or if, like, they had been removed. Ugh. But they said the area around the eye sockets had been dusted with glitter makeup. Her lips had completely, like...
Peeled back.
There it is.
Yes.
So her teeth were protruding from her mouth. She was extremely thin, which all of the last sightings of her, she was very thin. And her skin was blue.
I feel like that sounds like she's been dead for a minute.
Yeah.
But remember what we said about the silver?
Yes.
So she was eating the silver, and that can also turn your skin blue. So it was difficult for them to estimate how long she had been dead. They estimated their best guess was several weeks. But yes, because of the state of her body, it was difficult to tell because she kind of looked like a corpse before she even died. So, and they said that she was so blue, her skin was so blue that one of the police officers you can hear on the body cam, he said, wow, they painted her.
Yeah.
So those around Amy described her last few months and weeks as physically torturous. Like I said, she was spending most of the time in bed. They think that she had died in California and that they brought her body back to Colorado. So according to the coroner, Amy had been ingesting large amounts of colloidal silver, which the group had said was a cure for COVID-19. And they had even gotten a warning from the FDA to please stop saying this. Mm-hmm. So she was consuming it, and over long periods of time, it can lead to blue-gray discoloration of the skin, as well as seizures and organ failure. So the autopsy report from December 2021 says that she died from, quote, global decline in the setting of alcohol abuse, anorexia, and chronic colloidal silver ingestion, end quote.
Sounds like a mess of things.
Mm-hmm. Yes. While the police were there, they arrested several members of the cult who were there and for tampering with a corpse and child abuse because there was 2 children who were at the home as well. Mm-hmm. These charges were all dropped. They were upgraded on May 5th, 2021 by the district attorney to tampering with the deceased human body, but then they dropped these charges as well, and they said they were quietly dropped. Mm-hmm. I don't know why.
I heard it's because they couldn't really prove it.
Yes.
Like, they had obviously been like a nuisance to everybody there, but it's hard, like you mentioned, to tack any official charges on them. And so they were trying to get them on something, but they couldn't really prove that they actually tampered with the body, other than painting glitter on her and decorating her with lights.
I mean, like a makeshift shrine.
It was, yeah.
So it's difficult, again, for them to guess when she died because members of the group were doing live streams throughout all of this, and they were saying that, you know, Mom's not doing good. She's very sick. Yes. And then they said on April 16th, Mom is going to ascend tonight. Mm-hmm. Woo! And another member said, faux shizzle my nizzle.
Oh, no.
This is quoted.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
So her family got concerned. They called a wellness check, and they would not let the ambulance through to come see her. So it was never verified if she was still alive at that point. This is a few days before they found her. So she was probably already gone. But then they kept saying, like her on the live streams, they were saying that she was dying, but then they'd say she's fine.
Yeah.
On April 17th, they said, Mom is still resting. She's still kicking ass for us. But her body was found, 10 days later and had been dead for a while. Mm-hmm. One of her members quoted after police found the body and they could actually confirm she was dead. Quote, she experienced the most horrific death, which was very much like Lou Gehrig's or Parkinson's, where her whole body was paralyzed, but her brain was functioning. And she did it all for us.
How selfless.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Her followers insisted when police got to the house and found her body that she still had a pulse, despite how decomposed her body was. Like, they were that delusional in this.
So she was no longer Mother God. She was Mummy God.
Oh, no.
They also claimed that she had been moving her hands occasionally.
Sure, she was.
Her followers, so before the autopsy report was released, they were very excited to see the results because they said it was going to detail inexplicable phenomena that has not been scientifically explained.
Oh, gosh. Mummy God belongs...
Yeah. So, obviously her autopsy revealed that she died of not natural causes, but explainable causes. Yes. That's the word I'm looking for. Right. So, as of right now, there is a new Facebook group and a new YouTube channel, so it's not underneath her name anymore. The Facebook group said that she had ascended. Mm-hmm.
It finally happened.
You can go to their new Facebook page and YouTube channel, or they are still with Father God, Jason Castillo.
Sing it. If you're going to say it, you got to sing it.
Jason Castillo.
It's perfect.
Thank you.
She's no longer stuck in the fourth ascension.
She's in the 5D.
Purgatory. Yes, she's moved on to 5D.
They have posted on their new channel, and it seems like they are having more freedom. They're drinking from Starbucks. They said that they are able to sleep more freely because she has ascended. They don't have to follow her sleep schedule. And they don't seem to be like as constrained. I don't like that word. I'm trying to think of another word.
Yeah, but I'm still going to
Restricted.
say if they're going to have those same beliefs about racism, homophobia, anti-Semitic views, then thumbs down.
So they said that their previous lifestyle was all designed to shield her and protect her. And now that she has ascended, they can be a little more free. That is essentially where we're at. Nobody's doing jail time for anything that happened, but Mother God ascended.
I have ascended.
So I got a lot of that information from, there was a Rolling Stones article. Did you guys read that?
Yeah, that's where I got mine too.
It was very detailed, and it kind of went through everything. I would recommend reading it.
Yeah, also the Ask Mortician YouTube channel that I always talk about, she did an episode on it too.
It's very sad because, like, everything I was reading and watching, I was like, this is clearly a woman with some serious mental health issues, some psychosis, bipolar, something. Like, it's all textbook, and she did not get any help for it.
And then she had people enable her on top of that.
And I read somewhere that it said that she, near the end, like, got so bad that she asked to go to a hospital, and her cult members refused to take her because they said they're going to keep her and they're going to do something crazy like surgery on her. So, like, that makes me even more sad because she probably knew she was dying.
Well, yeah.
And she was like, okay. As much as she hated, like, hospitals and modern medicine, she asked to go to a hospital.
Dr. Phil was asking, well, like, why can't you just heal your own cancer? She was coming up with all sorts of weird answers about why she couldn't cure herself. I don't know. It's interesting because, like you said, they're all like textbook things. You can see her talking and hear her talking, and you're like, yeah, obviously there's lots of stuff going on here. But the fact that she's convinced even 12 people that this is all real. And the other thing is there's so many things going on. It's not like one direction. It is all over the place. I don't know how anybody kept anything straight there or how to follow any rules. After
reading about this all week and, like, even hearing all of, us talking, I still could not tell you what they believe. Like, it's everything.
It's the
everything and nothing.
Human potential.
It's basically one big delusion.
Exactly.
That she had, like, her psychotic delusion, and she just got everybody to buy into it.
Anyways, well, thanks for covering that one for me this week.
No problem.
You know what? I had never heard of it, so it was interesting to read about.
Definitely interesting.
And it is current. All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in this week to our episode on the cult, The Love Has Won Cult. You can always find us at thetipsyghost.com, and our socials are linked from there, or send us an email at thetipsyghost@gmail.com.
Please give us a 5-star rating and a great review anywhere you listen to podcasts. We really appreciate it, and it really does help.
All right. We will catch you guys next week. Thanks so much.
Okay, bye.
Bye.